Our wedding happened 2 years ago, but it's too much of a WTF moment to not share. I love your skits, and this could honestly be a whole series. The day of our wedding, there were so many moments that were just shocking, but also you just have to laugh and shake your head. My husband and I stayed in separate rooms the night before, but they were right across the hall. I had hair and makeup in my room for all bridesmaids and the moms. Everything was going smoothly until my mother-in-law came in to get her hair done, and she was already buzzed from drinking. Here we go, another drinking one.
Go figure.
Yeah. She was saying things like, I can't believe you're taking my baby from me. Ooh, who is going to take care of me? Why does this day have to happen? Mind you, my father-in-law is very much alive and my husband has another brother.
So it was all on him, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the one.
Yep.
This is the golden child in the family,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny too, because like people always be like, oh, this is so dramatized. And I'm like, but sometimes people are like, no, this happened word for word to me. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we all know these people.
yeah. The time had come to say our personal vows, and we were doing our first touch pictures. It was to be in his room on the balcony so we could get fall colors in the background. The only people invited were our photographer and videographer. While I was reading my vows, we hear and see his aunt from the ground screaming that she loves my husband. We ignore her, but she persisted, so my husband had to politely tell her to go away, essentially. Next came walking down the aisle. Him and I were both crying and had locked eyes the second I entered the aisle. I was midway through getting to him when the other aunt suddenly grabbed my arm and started rubbing my shoulder. I've been in 12 weddings and have never seen or heard of anyone doing this. I'm
Grabbing
sure
the
it was to
bride
try to
after
comfort
the
me, but not the time or the place.
No.
If the
Wow.
bride's
Absolutely
walking
not
down,
done.
yeah, what are we doing here? We finished up our ceremony and moved on to pictures. That's when I noticed his third aunt. Okay, lots of aunts here.
Yes.
Dressed in all white,
There it
There
goes.
it is.
floor-length gown and all.
Yep. They do it. Oh.
Did she have a bouquet? Was she carrying a bouquet?
Right. Her own bouquet and everything.
Yeah.
She had a veil,
Um,
I'm guessing. So
Yeah. So my photographer positioned her to stand directly behind me, so all you could see was her head. Smart photographer.
Yep.
very good. Yeah.
Family pictures were going well until we told everyone we were going to do our own one-on-one pictures.
Right.
Mother-in-law had to be told and finally was removed as she wanted to join our pictures and tag along.
Yeah. Let go. The umbilical cord has been severed.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I hope they moved out of the country because this is the only way you're going to sever this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like Everybody Loves Raymond situation. Like we're moving across the street, we're gonna come in the back door.
Yeah, exactly. Show up unannounced all the time. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Once the reception hit, all the stress and anxiety was over, or so I thought. We had our dance and then my dad-daughter dance. My husband goes to grab his mom, and at this point, she is wasted drunk. She kept yelling at him to twirl her, dip her, and make a whole scene. The rest of the reception did go fairly well, and I wouldn't change a thing. If you need more, I have my whole side of the family that apparently was competing to see who could be the bigger S show. Then we now have my whole pregnancy, which is also filled with drama. And that's a whole other can of worms.
Right.
Yes.
So that's
Can
that
only
is
imagine this mom now with a baby from the son that, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
they say, you're not just marrying that person, you're marrying the whole family.
Yep.
But I mean, not really. I mean, you see them
It's
like
true.
most families, you just see them holidays, periodically, birthdays. But if they're next door, if it's that Everybody Loves Raymond scenario, yeah, they are under your feet. And it sounds
Yeah.
like she probably didn't move far.
Yeah, it sounds like her husband stayed across the hall the night before. But when the mother-in-law came in, it sounds like she was already just trying to stir the pot and just try to make it about her. But
You know, it's so unfortunate. We did a video once on our feed where he talked about the mother of the groom getting a photo with her son, like making sure that she had a moment with her son.
Like a first touch with or first look with the father of the bride, which we see a lot.
Like that it
Yeah.
was important for the mother of the groom to be able to get those moments too. Because it is, right?
Yeah.
But this is the extreme, right? Like get the moment, but then also know that this isn't about you. You, of course, are a big part of the two families coming together, but essentially it's about the couple. And yeah,
It's funny you mentioned that. And that's the first thing I thought of too, is that video. Because I'd seen it once and I go, what a great idea. Because sometimes the groomsmen and the groom are already ready. and the bridesmaids take a little longer. Your gender takes a little longer to get ready often. But the mom is sometimes ready because she was usually early in the chair to get the hair and makeup done. Just grab the photographer who sometimes is picking detail shots or waiting and just have a quick, like just the same thing, walk up, tap him. Because he's always in that dirty Aerosmith shirt with the hole in the pit and the khaki pants and the Crocs. He's dressed, he's never looked better. Mustache tamed, hair is cut, he's groomed. Have a moment where you're like, oh my God, you look great. I'm so happy for your big wedding day. Hug it out, get a picture, wipe a tear, scene, and we're good.
Yes.
The moms and the mothers of the bride were like, that is not about her. It is about me. The same ones. These people are like, they took it as an attack. Like, no, it is me and my family and the brides. I go, no, what? Half the guests are there because of him and his family. It's crazy. People get so personally attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I find it funny too, like people kind of call themselves out sometimes in the comments because it'll be like a mother-in-law story that someone sent me and someone will comment, why do you only talk about mother-in-laws? Mother of the bride are bad too. And I'm like, okay. I mean, if someone wants to send me a story, I will ask. And I try to mix up what I'm talking about. When I see a story about a bride, I don't get offended because I'm like, I wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you see a story and you're offended and like, maybe we should look in the mirror a little.
Like,
why are we offended?
Have a little bit of internal reflection.
Are you the lady from the story?
Yeah, people will be like, are you in this story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should reach out to this person and be like, do you want to share more for like a part two?
Yeah, wow.
I want to know about this. Like, I mean, I'm good on the photographer for thinking quickly and being like, let's move the amp behind you, but all white. And I was someone like, even to my bachelorette party, I remember one of my cousins being like, I brought a dress that has white in it. Is that okay? I'm like, I don't care. You could wear an all white dress. I'm not that person. I don't care.
Yeah.
But like to just assume or just to show up in a gown at someone's wedding is very bold, very bold. You're asking for people to like ask questions or to like notice you at that point.
And like you said, a picture like in the background, I've also seen where they have a really extreme neon pink dress or something. And I get that that's sometimes the thing, but we had one and it was really bright and it was like a gown. It like poofed out and everything. I think she had like some kind of a tiara looking thing too in her hair. And I'm like, and again, every picture, she was like Bigfoot. There she was in the background because she like glowed, right?
Right.
And it's like, it's not your day. It's not about you, but some people just don't, that doesn't,
They can't not stand out in social settings, right?
But that could be the title of every one of your stories. It's not about you, but let's tell the story.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I've quoted that so many times in these skits. I'm like, well, it's not about you, but people still, the irony of it too is like the mother-in-law, especially in this story, that's like, don't take my baby away from me. Like, why does this have to happen? The more they act like that, the less they're going to see their son because the wife's not going to want them around.
Right.
So
or
just
their
like
grandchildren for that matter, right? Like who wants that overbearing mother-in-law, especially when you're a new mom and like, oh my gosh.
How can you not connect the dots on that, right? Like
yes. Yeah. I feel like because people like that are just the main character of their own story, so they don't see how they can be the issue. Yeah. The bride is the villain in that point.
Terrible bride. How dare she take her?
Terrible. I've seen that a lot too. People will comment like, brides are villains too. And I'm like, yeah, I've shared some where brides are not the main protagonists or whatever. They'll just kind of be upset at the story, how it comes out. And I'm like, I just get a story and I just make it into a